Hi folks, I just recently came across this video by the Caffeinated Critic. It's meant to be a quickie review of Vacumm. Now, for starters, I don't know what kind of film critic would try to cover something like this in 3 minutes or less, but I would take their opinion with a grain of salt. So let's take a look at his quickie review and see if it has anything of worth to say.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a new quickie by me, the Caffeinated Critic.
Okay, first off, hey everybody. Every YouTuber says that. This guy, he's not a professional, he's not trained, he's not Roger Ebert or Gene Siskel. This guy he's a fraud.
I'm going to be talking about a little Rene Archambault Jr. short that I happened to come across.
Okay. First of all, a little Rene Archambault Jr. short. Is that how you phrase it when the little short premiered at Cannes Film Festival and took home all the awards? Is that how you say it when it earned a 10-minute standing ovation? I don't know. I feel like this guy, he's not really aware of the cultural context surrounding this masterpiece. But you know, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Come across on the internet. So let's just get right into it. I really do not like this film. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this guy says, I really do not like this film. Okay, but you see, that doesn't mean anything. That's just your opinion. It has no bearing on the quality of the film, because film is objective. It's not subjective. It's objective. And when a film is objectively good, whether you like it or not does not matter. And this movie, Vacumm, is objectively good.
I really just feel like I have to say it. I was a really big fan of Archambault Jr.'s.
Okay, so now this guy's calling himself a big fan of Archambault Jr. Now, I don't know, maybe in the land of Marvel movies, you like to call yourselves a fan of, Kevin Feige or Spider-Man. But Rene Archambault Jr. deserves far more respect than declaring yourself as his fan. If you're into his movies, you're a follower, you're devout. You believe in what he has to say about the world. This shows the level of respect this guy put into this review, and it's really disappointing.
Archambault Jr.'s previous work, especially in the 80s, when he was doing his most successful, most influential work. And, honestly, it stands to me as some of the greatest films of the 80s, just like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, so this guy thinks the greatest films of the 80s are the Ghostbusters duology. Okay, buddy. I think I know who we're dealing with here. Obviously, the greatest films of the 80s aren't the Ghostbusters duology, and they're nowhere near close. Ivan Reitman, or I think that was his son, they did a lot for the comedy, horror, supernatural genre. But that has no bearing on Rene Archambault Jr. or his works. He's beyond the realm. They're like here and he's like over here,
Ghostbusters 2 as well. So to see him kind of transition, starting with neo-noir, which is a film I'm okay with, but is not my favorite, into his new cinematic universe that is...
Okay. Neo-noir, you're okay with that. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I can't take this guy seriously when he clearly has no respect. He shows complete disregard for the art form by dismissing these very dense, very, very dense, very smart movies, There's no critical rigor being put into this. It's just, there's so many fallacies.
Made up of experimental and esoteric schlock is really disappointing to me. Like, I just don't like it,
Esoteric schlock? That's an oxymoron. I don't know how much more of this I can get through, so I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit, guys. It's painful.
Vacuum. Like,
Okay, this is my favorite part of the video. So he says that vacuum is not spelled VACUUM. Well, let me let's Google that, buddy. Right here. I'm just gonna Google it on my phone and see what it brings up, okay? Okay. So vacuum is spelled V-A. Oh. Spelled VACUMM.
Vacuum is spelled V-A. Misspelling is purposeful in any way. And he calls it an analog horror short. Hello, Mr. Ashambo. It is not freaking scary one bit.
Okay. Listen. Again, scariness is objective, and Vacuum's horror is objectively an existentialist statement on the horror of the empty void one feels in life, and the fact that this guy can't pick up on that, maybe he's a sociopath who has no feelings, or I just think he's not very smart. But clearly, this guy has no idea. The themes are just flying right over his head.
Okay? There's no violin, there's no jump scare, there's no there's no scary monster.
No scary monster. Yeah, okay, man. God. You see, this is what happens, right? This is what happens when the TikTok generation is given access to the great teachings of real artists like Rene Ashambo Jr. It's really just it's ridiculous, guys. It's wow.
Okay? It doesn't make any sense to call this horror. So honestly, I'm going to be giving this a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. I mean, this is the worst part of the review, honestly. A 4 out of 10. Now, even if you disagreed with the themes and the messaging, the fact that this movie is objectively a well-made film. It's not just a movie, it's a film. It's a film. It's cinema. It's a cinematic achievement. It's a motion picture. The fact that he would give it a 4, instead of like at the bare minimum a 5 or a 6, for the craft that went into it. I can't take any more of this, guys. I'm gonna have to stop. Thank you for watching today's video. Always remember to subscribe to my Patreon, where I'll do live stream debunkings of various, forced ideologies in TV shows and stuff. How, they're trying to politically really gerrymander our art, because, this is related to Rene Ashambo Jr. His art says something without being political. His art has commentary on the real world as we know it, but it doesn't force politics down our throat. And if you want to hear more about that, just subscribe to my Patreon. All right, guys. Rational Debunker out.